Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things. And today I was tagged by Abby from the channel Abidabs. I will link her channel down below. She tagged me to do the 30 things you may not know about me. Guess it's a challenge because I don't usually tell you guys much about myself on this channel. And I've done like a couple get ready with me's where I chat, and I did do something similar on my birthday last year, but I figured there's a lot more of you watching these days, so I figured I could tell you guys 30 things you probably don't know about me, and maybe you guys have some of these things in common. Please let me know down below. And if you want to know 30 things about me that you probably don't know but maybe you do, then keep on watching. Let's go. So number one is my name. I don't know if you guys know my name. My name is Rachel. Hi guys. Honestly, when I started my channel, I did not want people I knew finding my channel, so I did not put my name in my channel. I wanted to kind of keep it between like me, myself, and I, and like kind of find people through my channel. I didn't want necessarily people finding me. Not that I'm against people I know finding me, just when I started out, I was like very nervous. So my name is actually Rachel Berkowitz, and Berkowitz, the Burke. I've been called a lot of Burke-like names in my life, and the Burke is one that actually Scott has always called me. So it just kind of happened. You guys can call me the Burke. You call me Rachel. You can call me Burko, Burke, Berkey. I've heard it all. Call me whatever you want. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be forever. Okay, so number two is, why is my channel named Things by the Burke? You obviously know the Burke part, but why things? So when I started out my channel, I didn't know what I wanted my channel to be, and I saw that other people that are a little bigger wound up like making like separate vlog channels or separate like family related channels, and they were trying to keep their channel separate because they were like a makeup oriented channel. And I don't know, I just didn't want to like suck myself into one little bubble of YouTube and say like my channel only does this. So if you say things, it really doesn't narrow it down to anything. So that's how I got Things by the Burke. Okay, number three, why I started my channel. Now I know I have talked about this on my channel before. I don't know if you've seen any of those videos, but essentially July 2017, I had knee surgery, and I was out of work for 3 months from the surgery, and it was very boring. I was pretty much stuck in a chair all day long, sitting alone. There was only so much Netflix I could watch, and I always followed a few people on YouTube, but never really explored much further, and that's where I started watching unboxing videos and makeup tutorials and makeup reviews and all these things. And that's one of the ways I found Abby, was she was doing a lot of unboxing, and it just made me want to do it. It looked fun. It looked like something any normal person could do, and I think up until that point I'd only watched bigger channels that did videos that were way above my knowledge of making videos and all of that. So I started making videos. I had no idea how to edit. I still don't really think I know how to edit, but that's how it all started. Number four, why did I start doing makeup on my channel? So my channel started off with me doing a lot of hauling and unboxings, because to me that was easy, and I could do it because I was a normal person. I could open things and show it to people on a camera. No brainer. I had a friend who actually found my channel, and she said she wanted to see me do, she said some sort of like makeup look on my channel, and I was like, oh no, heck no, I'm not doing makeup on my channel. I don't know how to do makeup. I can barely do my own makeup. But what I wound up doing was, for last Halloween, I wound up doing like this time-lapsed mermaid look thing, where I literally started the video with my face already having foundation on. I wouldn't even like show my naked face at that point. So it took me some time to be able to feel comfortable showing what I do on my face, because I am not a makeup artist. I'm just somebody who likes to put makeup on my face. It's very different. Number five, I figured we could talk about my favorite food, which is cheese. Literally anything with cheese on it, I will eat. It's a problem. I try to avoid eating animal products as much as possible. It is not always possible, but I could never become a vegan, mainly because I would never be able to cut cheese out of my life. I've tried vegan cheese. It just doesn't do it for me. So number six is my favorite animal, and that is the cheetah. I actually became obsessed with cheetahs when I was in elementary school when I was really little because our school mascot was the cheetah, and then from there it just never ended. So number 7, I figured I'd tell you a little bit about my family. I have a mom and a dad, and I am the oldest of 4 kids and also the only girl. I have a brother who will be 25 next month. I have a brother who is 21 and a brother who is 18. And those are my family members. Number 8 is about when I was very little. So when I was very, very little, up until the age of 8, I lived in Philadelphia, and it was a very different experience. When I was really little, I grew up very used to diversity. I guess that's how I could say it. I was the only little Jewish girl in my school, and I couldn't tell you the difference between people. I just grew up, when I was really little, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm the only Jewish girl. I didn't really think anything about diversity because I was so used to going to school with people from all walks of the earth when I was very little. And I think that was a really good thing. However, I don't know if you know, the Philadelphia school system is not good. It's inner city and they don't have the resources that private schools or suburban schools have. But when I was 8, we moved out of the city. And that takes me to number 9, which is my experience moving from the city to the suburbs. So I moved to the suburbs and it was very different. First of all, in 2nd grade, I had been reading picture books and doing addition and subtraction, whereas these kids have been reading chapter books and doing multiplication and subtraction. So I was super behind all of the kids in my grade, which was something new. I had to be put in special classes, and I was aware that I was being pulled out of class and being put into reading class or being put into extra math classes. Like, I was very aware of it. And I moved to a place where it was not as diverse. And I didn't understand why the kids were the way they were where I moved. For instance, I moved somewhere where there were a lot more Jewish people, and to me, I felt like, wow, I have things in common with these people, but I didn't. I really didn't. And they were very critical and negative and would tell me that I wasn't the right kind of Jewish or wasn't Jewish enough. And it was the first time in my life I ever really experienced bullying. Bullying was moving from the city into the suburbs. I was bullied for the type of clothes I wore. I will never forget the day this girl in my class in 3rd grade walked up to me and said, "I like your pants, where did you get them from?" And I thought she was being nice, and I said J.C. Penney's, and she looked at me and went, "Ew, you shop at J.C. Penney's." 3rd grade, people. 3rd grade. So, the suburbs. Yeah. Number 10, let's jump into one of my most favorite memories. So I was a sophomore in college, and the Phillies, which are a baseball team in Philadelphia, won the World Series. And just the excitement that night, the college I went to, everyone gathered in the streets and celebrated. And then a couple of days later, I went to the World Series parade with my family. Just that entire experience was so amazing and so exciting because it was my first time really experiencing a championship in the city, and it was so much fun. And this past year, having a very similar experience with the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl, it's just something you can't explain unless you've actually been there and witnessed it and seen the things that you could see. My boyfriend Scott has a vlog channel, and he vlogged a lot of our experience from the Super Bowl winning experience. I always have his channel linked down below if you want to check out any of his vlogs. He is somebody who actually knows how to edit, unlike me. So for number 11, I figured I'd do places I've traveled outside of the United States. My first ever trip, I was 16, and it was a school trip, and we traveled to France, Germany, and Austria. And then when I was 17, also with school, I traveled to Italy and Greece. And then I never traveled outside of the United States again until after I graduated from college. So the first year after college, Scott and I went to the Dominican Republic, and the following year we went to Mexico, and then we went on a birthright trip, which is a free trip offered to Jewish young adults, I suppose, and we went to Israel. And since going to Israel, I have yet to leave the country again, and I believe that was in 2015. Number 12 is I am the most socially awkward, antisocial person out there. Like, me sitting here in front of my camera, like, talking to you is more than I talk to normal people. I am very awkward. I don't interact well with people. I don't know why. I get super uncomfortable. I get very overwhelmed in big groups, and that's just how I am. Number 13 is I hate cooking so much, but I love baking. And some people don't really see the difference between the two, but I think because for me, baking is more like an art where like you want to make everything look pretty, and cooking is just like almost like a chore because I feel like I have to cook to eat, whereas I do not have to bake. It's more like a choice. I think maybe that's why I like baking better also. Number 14 is my favorite holiday, which is Halloween. October is my favorite month of the year. I love Halloween. I love everything about it. And I'm really sad this year because when we used to have our really big apartment, we used to throw a Halloween party every year. Last year I actually like vlogged about it if you go back in my vlog playlist. But this year, one, Scott is probably going to be away on a work trip, which is, we can talk about that in a different video. But mainly our apartment's too small, and I don't think any of my friends are having Halloween parties. I don't know if they like expect it from me and Scott or what, but I don't even know if I'm gonna have a costume this year because I don't know if we have anything to do. But don't worry, Mario and Luigi have costumes already. Pictures to come. Okay, so number 15, speaking of pets, I figured we could go over the zoo I lived in growing up. So growing up, we always had pets. So many pets. Like, so many pets. Like, I lived in a zoo. And in my life, this is cumulatively, I'm gonna say how many animals I have, but I'm not gonna include Mario and Luigi because they're my like current pets. We can get to them later. So we had 4 dogs, 5 cats, 3 hamsters, 2 rats, 1 bunny, 1 guinea pig, 4 turtles, 3 frogs, fish I can't even count, if they even count. I think that's it. Basically, I always had pets in my house growing up, so I love animals. Number 16 is I figured I'd let you guys know how me and Scott first met. So Scott is 1 year younger than me, and we went to the same high school. So I met Scott at the end of my senior year of high school. He was on the swim team, and I was friends with somebody on the swim team who happens to be his best friend. And we were in a club together, and he brought Scott, and that's how Scott and I met. And we were friends through all our college years. We would hang out like when we'd be home from college, but we did not actually start dating until both of us were out of college. And that's the story of me and Scott. Number 17, I figured I'd let you know about my college experience. I was not somebody who loved college. I would not say I had the greatest college experience. I went into college. So I went to Westchester University. It's a Pennsylvania state school, and I went in as a history education major because I was told by my guidance counselor in college, you can like history, but you cannot be a major in only history. And if I'm being honest with you, I would have loved to do anthropology or archaeology. Like, that was where my passion was, but can't get a job in either of those fields really. So I was told you have to be a history education major because that's the only way you're going to get a job if you have a history degree. So when you are 17, you go, okay, you don't really think much about it. You go, okay, whatever you say. Not even halfway into my sophomore year, I was in like not only the history classes, which I very much enjoyed, but it's also in these education classes, and I hated them. I hated them so much. And I called my dad one night, and I was like, one night being 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. Like, this isn't for me. I'm done college. I don't want to do it. And he encouraged me to look into accounting because I was very good at math. Now, math was always my best subject in school, but I'd been recommended to be a math education teacher. And I remember telling the guidance counselor, I could not teach math because I am not a patient person. Like, it is not one of my winning personality traits, but I am not patient. So when someone wouldn't understand math in my classes, I would get very annoyed and irritated and impatient with them. So I knew I can't teach children that if I can't even handle like my peers being not great at math. So since I was so good at math, he thought accounting would be good for me. And you could easily get an accounting job out of college. So I wound up being an accounting major, and since I was starting later, it took me 5 years to graduate, but I did graduate with an accounting degree. Now, I did go on to be an accountant for a few years, and that was not my calling. I do work more in finance now. I also am not sure it's my calling. I kind of prefer like helping people. So I don't really feel like I help people in my current job. And that's the tea. Now for number 18, I figured I'd talk to you very briefly about my experience with anxiety and depression. I kind of have always been anxious my whole life. I never knew what it was though until I went to college. So I didn't realize my entire life I had anxiety. I just thought I was the way other people were. Like, I know my mom has told me a story where I was like a couple minutes late for kindergarten and had like an entire mental breakdown. And because I thought like being late was like the end of the world, which I'm not gonna lie, I still feel that way when I'm running late for things, and it hasn't gone away. But once I got to college is when I very much started experiencing depression for the first time. And I don't talk a lot about it with anyone in my life. Like, this is not something I talk to people about, but I did experience depression very badly in college. I did speak with people. I did try medication. I've tried a lot of different things. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if anyone ever helped or really fixed me, but it is something I deal with. And I don't really know how to talk about it because it was an emotional experience in my college experience, and I would say it's one of the reasons I didn't enjoy college was because I was having all these other issues on the side burner that I was trying to hide from my friends and my roommates. So let's go on to the next fact. Okay, number 19 is a little bit more about me as a person throughout my life. So when I was little, my parents enrolled me in dance, and I was enrolled in dance because when I was little, I was very clumsy. Not much has changed, but when I would fall, I wouldn't put my hands out to catch myself, so I would just like face plant. And they wanted me to like learn balance and become more graceful, I guess, so they put me in dance. And I danced all the way up until I was 18. I've performed in Disney World. I've been in the Miss America parade. Like, I've had a lot of really fun, cool dance experiences. I used to be a competitive dancer. Like, that was my thing. I don't want to like say anything, but there is a larger YouTuber that I went to school with growing up, and me and this person may have been in a school show on the dance troupe together. So I'm not going to tell you who though. You guys can guess, but I'm not going to tell you who because I do like to like keep this person's privacy private and not like shout out that we know each other. But once I graduated from high school, I feel like one of the things that triggered my depression was always having dance and then stopping, because I never really thought of myself as an amazing dancer. Like, I always knew I was like adequate, and I never really did any dancing in college, but occasionally my old dance school would have like alumni routines in their shows, so I would go back and always do the alumni dances, and that would always like bring me those feelings back. But after I graduated college, I went back to my old dance school and I taught for a few years. As much as I hated teaching, the owner would let me be in dances, so that would make me happy. I like dancing, I do not like teaching. And that's why I love going to weddings, because I love dancing. All right, now on to something I hate. Number 20 is I hate getting my nails done professionally. Okay, I really need to like do my nails, but look at how tiny my nail beds are. Like, this is my nail. It is maybe 1 centimeter long, my full entire nail. So I always get like made fun of. My toenails are really tiny too. Like, everything about my nails is tiny, and I get made fun of, and it makes me uncomfortable, and it's just not a fun experience for me. So I'd much rather paint my nails 1,000,000 times than go and get my nails done. It's like torture for me getting my nails done. Number 21 is sort of embarrassing, but whatever. I still play Pokemon Go. Like, me and Scott, we play, and we're old people playing Pokemon Go. I don't know what else to say. Number 22 is I am obsessed with criminal type of television. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a sick, twisted issue I have, but like, I love Bones, NCIS, SVU, Forensic Files. Like, I will literally go on Netflix and search for like major crime or like serial killers. And like, I don't know why, but it is like my dirty little, it's not a dirty little secret. Everyone knows that I love watching it, but it is something I cannot get enough of. I love watching like crime anything, as long as it's not scary. Next is number 23, which is my first and all-time favorite YouTuber. I will always and forever love Jenna Marbles. I have been watching Jenna since I was a junior or senior in college, and ever since I watched the very first video I ever watched, I have never missed an upload of hers every week, and she is just once a week my little break from reality, I guess. Number 24, I figured I'd tell you like the story of Mario and kind of Luigi, which I've posted about both of them, but in case you haven't seen, Mario we got in the summer of 2016. I had seen a cat named Bazinga that I wanted to adopt, and we put in an application and tried to adopt him, but we were too late and he was taken, and I was heartbroken because I wanted Bazinga so bad. He also was a little black cat. And Scott said, let's just go to the pet store, let's go, let's just see what kind of cats they have. And I was like hysterical, I don't want to see any other cats, like I wanted Bazinga, I can't do this, I can't have my heart broken again like this. And we went, and there was like a lady who worked with the shelter and with all the cats, and she let us go in, and all these crazy cats were all over the place, woo, 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 woo. And there was one cat just chilling at the top of the cat tree, and that was Mr. Mario, and we locked eyes, and the rest is history. And then earlier in this summer, we moved to this apartment, and we wanted to get Mario a friend, and we knew we wanted to get him a very small energy-filled friend, and that's how we came about getting Luigi. And they are best friends forever, I think, now. Number 25 is something I've never done, and I have never smoked weed. I know that's like not very common, but I've just never had an interest in it. I'm not against it or have a problem with people that do it, but I just have never had the desire to or care to. Number 26 I thought would be like a funny story to tell. So earlier in this, like in the middle of the summer, I dyed like half my hair blonde, like the bottom half, which you might be able to see that this is a little lighter. But up until that point, I always only had highlights. And the reason I got highlights was when I was 11 years old, I was obsessed with Mary-Kate and Ashley, and I needed to have their haircut. And since I was 11, I only ever got blonde highlights. So I basically always had Mary-Kate and Ashley hair up until like August of this year. Number 27 is something else I hate, and I hate driving. I already have to drive like an hour each way to and from work, which is like beyond my mental ability daily, but I absolutely hate driving. Like I will go out of my way not to have to drive places. Like if I don't have food, I'll order Grubhub. Like if I don't have something I need, like I'll just order it because I hate driving so much. Number 28 is something else I hate. I hate roller coasters, but I love rides that just spin you forever. Like you could put me on a ride that just spins me until you think I'm gonna vomit, but I won't vomit. And Scott loves roller coasters, so when we go to amusement parks or anything like fairs or the boardwalk, like I watch him go on his rides, he watches me go on my rides, but we really don't like any of the same rides except the log flume. That's the only thing we go on together. Number 29 is I am addicted to coffee. When I like don't have a cup of coffee in my hand, I feel naked. I have usually at least 2 cups a day. I know that's really not good, but I could be addicted to worse things. So, and finally, number 30 is I will be 30 in February, and I don't feel like freaking out about that. I know a lot of people freak out when they turn 30, but I'm ready to say sayonara to my 20s, honestly. And yeah, that's it for this video. I don't know how many of you watched this far, but if you did, congratulations, you did it. And thank you, Abby, for challenging me to do this. I usually do not like talking about myself with people because I am so awkward. And yeah, that's it for this video. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter, my Instagram, and my blog down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!